Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? My name is Rafaniel Jemison. I'm with Stamper Signings. We're a nationwide notary service that specializes in notarizing estate planning documents. I appreciate you all for tuning in today. This is a second video of our estate planning document review training series, where we'll be going over estate planning documents for all 50 states. The first video we did was on Georgia, and next we're going to focus on Florida. So the interesting thing about estate planning, we've done signings, and I believe in all 50 states. Every state has their own set of documents, and they're going to have their own different meanings, and they're going to be formatted differently. So great thing about Florida, we typically get a lot of signings in the area, and we want to make sure that Florida notaries are well aware of how to perform these type of signings, because when we do get these signings in Florida, we like to work with notaries who are trained, take their craft seriously, and make not only our jobs easier and make it easier for our clients as well. So let's kick things off. First things first, we have the quitclaim deed. What the quitclaim deed is, that document is pretty much a transfer of ownership. So let's say I purchased a property under the name Rafaniel Jemerson, but I set up my my living trust. So now I'm granting the property as Rafaniel Jemerson to the grantee, which is Rafaniel Jemerson, trustee of the Rafaniel Jemerson Living Trust. Often you're going to see this in your signings where the signer has took on the property, has purchased the property under their personal name, and when they set up a living trust, they're going to transfer ownership of the property to themselves, but as the trustee of the trust. So make sure you get familiar with that. That is something that you're commonly going to see in your estate planning documents. And this document does need to be notarized. And in Florida, 2 witnesses are required for quitclaim deeds, warranty deeds, and I believe grant deeds as well. So how we will fill this out is we're going to have the witness place their signature, print it, and have them print their name. And then we're going to get the second witness to provide a signature and a printed name. And then we need to get the grantor, the first grantor's signature. And we're going to follow the same exact steps for the second grantor, where we get the grantor's signature, and then we're going to have both witnesses sign and print. Now, a common mistake that we come across is we'll see that the notary will get both of the grantor's signature, but they will only have one witness sign for the first grantor, and then the second witness will sign as the first witness for the second grantor. So what you want to do to limit this mistake is to make sure that both witnesses sign for the first grantor and make sure that both witnesses sign for the second grantor as well. If you can execute this part, everything else will fall into place for you. And then for you as the notary, again, you have to notarize this document. We're going to get the date, sign this, obviously put the date here, your signature goes here. You want to print your name, and then you want to print what type of identification was produced by the signer. And you put that information here, and then you're going to stamp this document, and that's how you would complete the grant deed. So next we have the living trust. The living trust is pretty much a trust where someone will put their assets and their belongings to make sure everything is taken care of and is given to the right people after they pass away without needing court approval. So with this document, the client will be able to avoid going into probate. So with this document, we're going to collect we're going to get both of the grantor's signatures. You do not have to print trustee verbiage unless otherwise told so by the attorney. Always ask. And for Florida, and for this particular document in Florida, we see that a lot of remote online notarizations take place in Florida. So the notary would need to mark off if this signing took place, was the signer signed physically in front of them, or was this an online notarization? You would check which box is applicable to your situation, or to your situation. You're going to print what identification was produced, sign, print the day your commission expires, and then you would stamp this document, the living trust. Next, we have the HIPAA authorization. This is a document that's going to let you choose who can see your private medical information, like doctor's notes or your test results, so they can help with your care or your decisions. And once we get to this section, You want to have the signer place their signature. You want to make sure the signer provides their date of birth. Mark this box that this signing was performed physically if the signer was physically present in front of you, or this signing took place online. Print what ID was produced. Signature. Print the date your commission expires. Then you provide a stamp. And next we have the durable power of attorney. To explain it simple, it's a legal document that lets you pick someone you trust to make important decisions about things like money or property for you, especially if you can't do it yourself. So we want to make sure this is dated. We get the signature. And in Florida, the durable power of attorney does require 2 witnesses. So you want to make sure you get the witness's signature, printed name, and address. Both witnesses must have a signature, printed name, and address. You're going to mark if this signing was done physically present, signer was physically present, or if this was conducted online. Print what ID was produced, your signature, and you're going to date. And the follow-up document to this would be the acceptance by agent. It's pretty much not pretty much, but for this particular document, the signer is going to provide a signature. They're going to provide their driver license number, and they're going to provide a date. And then you, as the notary, will complete this section. And you as the notary signature, you're going to print your name, put the date your commission expires, and you are going to stamp. And that's how you would fill out this document. We already gone over for the power of attorney. Next, we have the designation of healthcare surrogate. This is if you're in California, this would be an event similar to Advanced Healthcare Directive. And this is just a document where you would choose a trusted person to make medical decisions for you if you are too sick or unable to decide for yourself. This section, we want to get the signer's signature. You want to date it. Make sure the address here is correct. And this document also requires 2 witnesses. Again, signature goes on top, printed name underneath their signature, and a mailing address underneath their printed name. Mark this box if it's physical presence or online notarization. Make sure you get the ID that was produced, because this often happens where the notary will forget to print what identification was produced. You're going to provide a signature, and then you're going to stamp. Next, we have the healthcare power of attorney. The healthcare power of attorney, again, is another legal document where you choose someone you trust to make medical decisions for you if you are too sick or unable to decide for yourself. We're going to get the signer's signature, mark which box physically present or online notarization, ID produced, notary signature, the day your commission expires, then you will stamp. Next, we have the will. It's a legal document where you write down who should get your assets, property, belongings, and other things after you pass away, and who will make sure it happens. And the person that makes it happen will be the executor. You will oftentimes see the executor listed in the will as well. So for this particular document, we want to print what city that the will signed. You want to collect the signer's signature, and what are the next steps for the witnesses: signature, printed name, and address. I sound like a broken record when it comes to getting the witness's signature, printed name, and address, because we quite often have notaries send back documents where they've only got their signature or just a signature and a printed name, but no address. It's very important that you collect this information, because let's say, what if these documents are contested in court, and the signer makes sure they cross their T's and dot their I's, but the court doesn't go in your client's favor because you didn't properly fill out these sections and you didn't collect all the witnesses' information. So make sure you collect this information to essentially keep your clients happy and to ensure that this has been done correctly. And then after the will, you will have a self-proving acknowledgement and affidavit that comes along with this. This is what you will also see in Georgia and Texas, and I believe the state of Washington as well. So for this document, we're going to get the signer's signature here. We're then going to print both of the witnesses here. Both of the witnesses must have their names printed here. You're then going to get the witness's signature, their signature here. Underneath it, you can have them print their name. It is optional, but since their name is already going to be printed here, you just want to get their signature only. And when we get to this section, we want to mark this box if the signer was physically present, or if the signing was conducted online. You're going to print what identification was produced. You're going to print the this section here is described before me by the witnesses who was personally known to me. Yeah, so you're going to print the witnesses' names here. Kind of threw me off there for a second. You're going to print the witness's name here, what type of identification they produce, and you're going to put the second witness's name here and what identification they produced. You as a notary, you're going to provide a signature where it says Notary Public. This is often something that notaries miss. You have to print your name next to where it says Notary Public, because this is something that we commonly miss. That notaries typically miss. Again, get their signature, place your signature, place your printed name, and then you're going to put the date that your commission expires, and then you will stamp this document. And next we have the assignment of personal property. With the assignment of personal property, this is just a document where it shows this document is basically explaining what type of personal property, belongings, etc., that's going to be transferred and who receives it in the trust. The assigner is going to print their name. They're going to provide a signature. You as a notary need to mark these boxes. Mark either one of these boxes, what ID was produced. You're going to provide a signature, the day your commission expires, then stamp. And next we have the certification of trust. This document just proves that the trust exists. It's going to show important details about the trust, like who's in charge. Also does it without revealing all the private information that is in the trust. So once the clients have reviewed this document, you're going to collect both of their signatures, mark the boxes, choose which identification was produced. Make sure you check if personally known or identification that was produced. Make sure you mark it, because again, we've seen notaries leave these unchecked. You want to provide a signature. You need to print your name, the day your commission expires, and then you're going to stamp. And lastly, we have the funding acknowledgement, where the signer is going to acknowledge and has been advised about the importance of funding their trust. We want to make sure that it's dated, and we need to get their signature as well. So there you have it. These were the signature pages for estate planning documents in the state of Florida. As you'll see, as we go through these series, a lot of these documents that you will see are pretty much the same through all states. They're just going to be named differently. So, for example, we saw the healthcare surrogate here in California. That would have been called the Advanced Healthcare Directive, but they both have the same meaning. So, always remember too, it's not your job to explain the purpose of these documents. The signer is already going to do that for. It's already gone through the documents with their attorney. So, for you as the notary, you want to make sure that you're diligent. Make sure you do your part. Don't miss any signatures, initials, or dates. Make sure that you collect all witnesses' printed name, signature, and address. If you could remember to fully execute the witnesses' signatures, printed name, and address, you're going to be good to go. Let me know if you guys got any value from this content. Again, we're going to launch over 50 videos of document review training videos for all 50 states. If you're a notary that's watching this video right now and you would like to work with us for future signings, we are on CloseWise. That is a platform that we use to send out orders. Make sure you join the platform. And if you are available for upcoming signing, we would love to work with you. 95% of our business is estate planning, so you can expect that from us. We also have a free training as well on how to become an estate planning notary. So if you want to learn how to become an estate planning notary, where you can learn the ways that you can earn money within the estate planning niche, and you don't want to be overly dependent on loan closings, and you want to add this into your book of business, definitely recommend downloading the free training. It will be in the description. And make sure you join our Facebook group for stamper signings. We post signings in that group sometimes, but we also have other notaries, other signing service owners who post their signings in the group as well, because we want to be able to have notaries maximize their opportunities and to be able to generate an income. So again, I hope you guys got a lot of value from this video. Thank you all for tuning in, watching this. Please make sure you like this video. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel and be on the lookout for more educational content on the notary business. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Peace.